Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Headlines here at laughingplace.com. I'm Rebekah Mosley, and with me is our editorial director of Star Wars content, Mike Celestino. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
Hey, I am in a super awesome mood because NASA and the team at JPL just successfully landed Perseverance, the next step in the countdown to Mars. I am super excited. So I'm excited to talk more fictional fun with Star Wars, but right now the real life space stuff is just got me over the moon pumped.
That's awesome, and I feel so guilty that I had no idea this was happening before you told me earlier. I feel like I'm so much more tuned into the fictional space stuff than the real space stuff. But yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, this one is going to be, its specific purpose is the search for biological evidence. So it's a different kind of mission, very exciting, not so much topographical and geography oriented. So yeah, woohoo. Okay, but nice. On to the stuff that we always talk about here at Star Wars Headlines. And as always, if you have a question or comment, feel free to join us in the chat because we're live. But we're going to kick it off with news of an upcoming comic book series.
Yeah, I was so excited about this. It's so there are 4 current running Star Wars comics that take place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi right now. There's the main Star Wars title, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, Star Wars Dr. Aphra, and Star Wars Darth Vader. And they're all going to be crossing over and tying in with this new miniseries called War of the Bounty Hunters that also is going to take place between Empire and Jedi. The miniseries is going to be written by Charles Soule, who also writes the main Star Wars title and is one of my favorite current Star Wars writers. And they're all going to overlap with each other, and it's just so exciting. They haven't done anything like this for a while. There was a crossover called Vader Down. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. And then there was this thing called the Screaming Citadel, which they did with the Dr. Aphra and the Star Wars comic. But other than those two, they haven't done a big crossover like this for a while. So I'm super psyched. I read all the comics. I review all the comics on laughingplace.com. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It starts in May 5th, the day after Star Wars Day.
So as a more casual Star Wars fan, well, the first thing that jumped out at me on this cover was that you have a Mandalorian figure, and then you have this in quotes at the bottom, precious cargo, which has been kind of a catchphrase for Grogu, right? So that was kind of what popped out at me initially. And then to see in the background the carbonite frozen Solo, it was just it was kind of a funny little moment for me. Like I say, it jumped out at me in a very different way because of the dynamic of my fandom.
Yeah, but, I wonder if that's intentional, because
right?
I don't know if they've used that phrase in the Mandalorian series. There's really something that was on a lot of the merch,
right?
So I'm not sure if that was intentional or what, but yeah, good parallel to draw there.
And then you had some other publishing news today.
Yeah, this just came out right before we started the like a half hour before we started this broadcast. Mm-hmm. So E.K. Johnston, the author, has been writing these novels, young adult novels about Padme Amidala, the queen and senator from Naboo, who eventually goes on to marry Anakin Skywalker. But this is going to be the third one. So she did Queen's Shadow in 2019, Queen's Peril last year, 2020, and then now it's going to be Queen's Hope, the third and final novel in the trilogy. And this one's going to take place between episodes 2 and 3. So between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, after they've gotten married, after Anakin and Padme have gotten married, and should be interesting. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these novels. I think I'm not quite the target audience for them. But I have read them, and I will read this third one and review it on Laughing Place.
Okay. I had a little hiccup on my computer over here.
Right.
Next up, we've got news of Trading Post. You were able to visit the Trading Post that opened in the old Rainforest Cafe location at Downtown Disney.
Yes, I was the first ever guest to enter the Star Wars Trading Post in the former Rainforest Cafe. Put up a quick video that I shot upon my entry there at Downtown Disney, and a whole bunch of photos are available on our Twitter and on the Laughing Place website. And it was really, really cool. I thought they did a great job, way more than I was anticipating. They did a wonderful job of kind of blending what was there with the kind of Star Wars aesthetic that we expect. Yeah, just a ton of merchandise available. Obviously, stuff that you would be able to get if Star Wars Galaxy's Edge were open in the park. Way more than was for sale in the former Star Wars Trading Post, which is turning back into Wonderground Gallery, which will reopen tomorrow. I'll be down there again for that. And once I'm there tomorrow morning, I'm also going to shoot a nice, very long, very detailed video going through pretty much all the details of the new Star Wars Trading Post. Now that I'll have a little bit more time, because with the reservation system and everything, I didn't want to spend too much time in there on Tuesday when it first opened up. So tomorrow I'm going to really take my time with it, go through every corner, every display, all the little hidden details and stuff, and I'll have that video up tomorrow at some point.
And then I remember one of the things that was on your shopping list, as it were, was this Batuin Spyro or Spiro?
I've heard it said both,
Okay.
but I think I say Spyra.
Okay.
So this is the old one. This is the one that came out a couple years ago when the land opened. It came in this little wallet, and here's the actual coin. It works just like a Disney gift certificate. You can load money on there, and this is like the gold version, the first version of it. And then now available both in Walt Disney World earlier, and then now at the Star Wars Trading Post in Downtown Disney is the silver edition, which I'm just going to open up here. So it also comes in this little wallet, and this says, "May your trades go well" in Arabic there. And I'll just open this up, and we'll do a little comparison. There's the first one, and this is the new one. So you can see the different colors. One's kind of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think we lost Mike. Hang on. There we go. You're
Sorry.
back. No, I gotcha.
I removed myself.
There you are.
There you go.
Looks good. I like it. I might have to pick one of those up myself.
I was saying, like, to my wife, I was saying the fun of these would be to, I've done it in the past when I just had the gold one. You go into Oga's Cantina and you order a drink, and you just kind of plunk this down on the counter. And it makes you feel like a little bit more like you're living in the Star Wars universe. But now you kind of, my thought would be to pretend like each of these is its own, like, denomination,
Right.
Which would take a little bit more work, because you'd want to, like, say you decide this one's $5 and this one's $10 or something like that. You only want to put that much money on each gift card, which is so ridiculous.
but I understand. I understand the mindset behind it. I get you. I'm with you. Hey, if you need to add to your collection of protective accoutrements, they also have various saber hilts available there at the Trading Post.
I said I put up that video. It's like a 3-minute video of just me walking around a little bit in there on Tuesday, and the comments that we got were that I skipped the Legacy lightsaber display. I guess people really care about that more than I do. But tomorrow I'm gonna make sure to get that in more detail on another video.
And then this particular item caught a lot of people's attention, Mike.
Yeah.
And you learned a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I spotted that in the corner, and I was taking pictures of it, and an Imagineer, I forget the gentleman's name, John something, came up behind me, and he was like, we got that from the set of The Mandalorian. It's an actual production copy of the prams that they were using on the set of The Mandalorian. Grogu's little hover pram there, so that's pretty cool.
So seeing it in person, was it dimensionally what you expected, or was it one of those things where, wow, it's smaller than I would have thought, or it's larger than I would have thought?
I guess I would say it's a little smaller than I would have thought, but Grogu himself is pretty small too, so it kind of makes sense.
Right,
I think
right.
if you were to see Grogu in person, the life-size puppet that they use,
Hmm.
it would be smaller than you would imagine. I think.
And over on the other coast, we continue to see what's the word? Production? No, I don't know. Forward momentum on the Galactic Cruiser construction,
Yeah,
and
so Jeremiah went and took these photos out there, the
and
Galactic Star Cruiser.
it's a lot of I guess we saw a lot of foliage beginning to kind of appear around it as well. Because one of the things that I hadn't really considered until I saw these images was that in essence, in some ways, it'll be a bit more similar to a show building idea. Like I was talking with the LP team here. You know, when you think of Indiana Jones Adventure, you know, you're inside Disneyland and you see the temple and you venture into it, and, you know, and that's what you think of as Indiana Jones Adventure. But then, you know, when you're on the tram entering the park, right, you see that enormous, just simple green building that they, you know, have some trees in front of. And
Yeah.
that's actually, you know, Indy. And it was just one of those things where I'm so used to part of what I look forward to with a hotel being kind of the aesthetic it lends to the area as you're driving around. But this one won't have that in the same way, because the focus will be, you know, as you come into the entrance, that's where you'll have that heavy theming. You don't need it anywhere else because of just the very nature of the hotel experience. So it's just a different kind of Disney hotel, and I hadn't even considered that when they were talking about its arrival at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see how that progresses and shapes up as it continues, and it is very interesting in that way that I don't think you'll really be able to get a sense of what's going on there from looking at the exterior or the show building, like you said.
And in the world of Disney cruises, they've announced possible. I say possible because I feel like as dates are announced, then dates are pushed back. But
Yeah.
that Marvel Day at Sea and Star Wars Day at Sea cruises will be part of the cruise experience once again when cruising is a part of our Disney experiences. So they've posted a collection of dates, and we've got those over on Laughing Place throughout 2022. Some January and February, even a March date listed there for Star Wars Day at Sea and for the Marvel Day at Sea. And I know you, Mike, got to experience the the Star Wars Day at Sea.
Yes.
Any particular highlights?
Well, it starts. Okay, so we did. It was like a week-long cruise, and then one of those days is the Star Wars Day at Sea. And it starts the night before, I think, with Darth Vader like taking over the ship, which is so neat. Everybody gathers there in the like atrium and watches up on the balcony up there on the right. You can see there's a video of it on the Laughing Place YouTube as well that I put up of Darth Vader coming in and like kind of commandeering the ship with the stormtroopers, and like from that point on for the next 24 hours, everything is 100% Star Wars themed, which is so neat. Yeah, there's like signs all over the place, little banners of
I
all the
just grabbed your
characters.
little. This is the one of the write-ups that Mike did
Yeah.
of his experience, and there's numerous videos and dozens of photos to let you kind of know what the experiences are, including Stormtrooper and Death Star cookies.
Hmm.
The drawing classes are focused on the Star Wars characters. Even the popular lobby games are transformed to represent different Star Wars storylines and elements. And of course, look at the menu. I mean, even the menu takes on a Star Wars personality. So just lots of Star Wars related fun there on the Disney Cruise Line. And like I say, they've announced those dates for 2022, and you can find all that information over at laughingplace.com. Venturing into the world of Star Wars Kids and that special YouTube channel, they've released a couple of new Mission Fleet shorts.
I only watched the one about Luke and Vader. Was it more than that?
One just popped up this morning, Mike.
Okay, I must have missed that one.
Just before we came on, another one popped up. That one features Boba Fett, but we'll talk about this one and let people know about Star Wars Mission Fleet over at the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel.
Yeah, so this one was about Luke Skywalker. He's just flying in his X-wing, shooting at the Death Star, and then Darth Vader jumps in his TIE fighter, and they have like a dogfight in the trench and everything, and it's just like a minute long. But these are just little promo entertainment shorts to get the word out about these Mission Fleet toys from Hasbro.
Yeah, it's like dropping in on a kid's room and like seeing what they're playing, how they would reenact the scene or kind of expand upon a scene with their own toys. It's quite cute. Sea Bacon is requesting a Star Wars Commando sequence. Is this a part of the franchise that you're familiar with, Mike?
Yeah, he clarified Republic Commando. It's just
Thank you.
Video game came out probably 10, 15 years ago, I think. I never played that one, so I'm not familiar with the Republic Commando, but I'm sure it's pretty cool.
Also, last week we highlighted an upcoming toy from Hot Toys. It was now my mind just totally blanked on which one.
I think it was Boba Fett
Boba
from
Fett?
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, so this week we've got another Mandalorian coming to Hot Toys. They've got a little sneak peek, and it's a Bo-Katan. So you can sign up over at Sideshow for the upcoming 6th scale Bo-Katan figure. The RSVP list there to find out specifically when it goes on sale. But there you go, a little sneak peek. And continuing with toys, a lot of Mandalorian toys received the Toy of the Year award.
Yeah, this is exciting to hear. Looks like the Lego Razor Crest, some Baby Yoda Grogu toys in the pouch there. And it also won License of the Year, which is big, at the Toy Fair, which I think was a virtual event this year. Obviously, they didn't do it in person.
Did you build? I'm trying to recall if this is one of the builds that you did, Mike. The Razor Crest Lego.
Yeah, I really like that set a lot. Nice, very nice Lego set.
And then you've played with these you've played with the Grogu, correct? These little Grogu toys.
Yeah, they sent us a couple different ones. I'm not sure if that's the exact one that we got, but we did have one of the plush Grogus. Yeah, there are a couple floating around here somewhere.
They're all quite cute. And then our author, Alex went on to highlight some of the other toys that were among the winners of the year in varying categories. But we wanted to make sure you knew that the Mandalorian toys collected quite a few, including License of the Year. Next up is Star Wars Hunters.
Yeah, so this is it's a new video game that was announced yesterday during the Nintendo Direct event. That it was like it was on YouTube, basically like a live stream list of announcements, and this is just one of the titles that popped up in there. There isn't a tremendous amount of information about this, but it is a free-to-play game, which means you can download it for free on your Nintendo Switch when it comes out. And then it'll probably have like paid upgrades. I'm not really 100% sure of how it'll work, but it's also going to be available for iOS and Android. So it's more of a mobile type game. I wouldn't expect anything like too super in-depth from Star Wars Hunter. And they described it as like an arena combat type game.
Cool. And this EA Squadrons, they've announced another what we're calling cosmetic update.
Yeah, they said the final cosmetic update will be released on Star Wars Day, this coming May the 4th.
Very cool.
I don't know if they said what it will be exactly, but I guess it'll be a surprise.
Oh, cool. Well, May the 4th. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yes.
That we'll get some more. And what this is as you play the game, you garner points, and then these points can then be traded into decorate your dashboard, whether it be certain types of what I would call bobblehead figures that you can kind of have sitting there alongside you, or those types of things. C Bacon is asking, are you guys original or prequel fans, or both?
Yeah, that's a loaded question right there.
I know, huh?
I am more of an original trilogy fan. I don't know about you, Rebekah.
Well, okay. See, I had the benefit of, while being an original trilogy fan, I had a brother who was in that target range of Star Wars. And then I had a son who was in the target range of Star Wars. Like each time a trilogy would come out, I had someone close in my life who it spoke to in a special way. And so, because I think if you were to ask my brother, I think he would point to the prequels as his. And I think if you were to ask my son, he would point to the most recent Skywalker Saga trilogy as his. And so because of that, I love them all. But for me, obviously, when I was a child, it was all about Han, Leia, and Luke. And so, that's still where my heart is, more than any other. But like I say, I had a special opportunity to see the others through the eyes of the target demographic.
Yes, and I will say that I consume just about everything that comes out Star Wars wise. So
right,
I'm certainly aware of all of it. But yeah, my heart is really in the original trilogy era of stuff.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I do. I find myself, like, for example, with the novelization that's about to come out, I'm far more excited about this comic book series with the bounty hunters, just because of the time frame it's in, as opposed to the novelization, the Padme novelization. It's just I want to know more about that period around Empire Strikes Back, and so I'm excited for that. Nothing more or less. And then I wasn't sure if you saw this one, Mike. This was from our team. They collected up some of the Funko limited edition that are coming to the virtual con that Funko's going to have. And among them is this exclusive Yoda. And so I wanted to be sure we let people know about that one. So there he is. He's cute.
I had not seen that, but that is nice.
Nice and green.
We should address a couple more questions here real quick.
Oh, here we go.
Do you know what the Taika Waititi Star Wars show is going to be? So he's actually writing a Star Wars movie. So the next Star Wars movie to come out is going to be the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie, which is, I think, Christmas 2023. Is that the current date for that? Off the top of my head, I think that's right. And then I think 2 years later, which would be Christmas 2025, another Star Wars movie is coming out. They haven't said which movie that's going to be exactly, but assumptions are that's going to be the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie. So you still have like 4 years to wait minimum for the Taika project. But I'm excited for both those films. Yeah. And then he wanted to know, or he or she, C. Bacon, wanted to know if Padme came up with the names Luke and Leia right when she named them, which is a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it.
Or if she had those names in mind beforehand.
Right. Yeah. I haven't considered that one. Yeah. How the names came to be. And then finally here at Star Wars Headlines, we showcase Mike C's podcast, Who's the Boss?
Yeah. This week on Who's the Boss, I did a whole episode about Star Wars video games. I'm doing a Lucasfilm retrospective for the 50th anniversary of the company, and covering most major projects that the company was involved with since its founding in 1971. And this week was Star Wars video games. Took a step back from the movies to talk about the history of Star Wars in the video game industry.
Very cool. And that's once again the Who's the Boss podcast. You can find out more information about it, including specifically when it's going to drop and things like that. Who his guests are going to be. If you follow him on Twitter at Who's the Boss Pod. We also have that information here at Laughing Place, of course. And Mike, I wanted to ask you a question that just went out of my head in the midst of me asking you the question.
That's
so, okay. A reminder, tomorrow, you mentioned you're going back to Downtown Disney. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
So I was going to have you let people know that again while I pull up something. See? Okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning, going back to Downtown Disney to visit the new trading post again, get a longer video, a more detailed video. We'll also go to Wonderground Gallery, which is reopening tomorrow, and check that out now that it's coming back. And I think we're doing a live stream at some point from there as well.
Bacon really thinks about interesting things. I like this. When someone got shot and died at Cantina, did they drag the body out and check if there was a bounty on their head? Okay.
That is always a really good question.
Always looking for a way for more credits, right? And the high sparkles. So as always, there's lots going on here at Laughing Place. Throughout the rest of today, we have that's my desktop, and I don't want to share that. So let me stop share and share the right thing.
Oh, yeah, I also got this the sipper before we go.
Oh, yeah.
At the Star Wars Trading Post. And Jeremiah has had this before from Florida, from Walt Disney World, but now it's available at Disneyland Resort. There's the little patty frog inside there.
Oh, cool.
And mine doesn't smell because they didn't put any liquid in it. They didn't put any beverage in it.
That's nice to have a fresh one.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Does it light up in the bottom, or is that just the way the light's reflecting off your
it lights up.
Personal? Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
You could turn the light on and off.
Oh, I like it. So is that something you figured you'd own someday? When you're watching Return of the Jedi, you're like, someday I'm gonna have me one of those.
Well, I do own it in little action figure form already, in a couple different sizes, actually, because I've got the Jabba's palace dais or whatever in the 3 3/4 inch scale, and then in the 6-inch scale, and then now I've got it in larger size. Although this is definitely not as big as it is in the movie, so it's a little smaller than. It's probably like half or smaller than the actual size of the actual prop in the film.
I'm sorry. It's just very funny to me. Because that's one of those scenes in the film that I always like close my eyes. I'm too squeamish. I'm just like, ew, yuck. Why did you have to have that there? So yeah. And here at Laughing Place, we've always got something going. Oh, see, now somebody's asking. Let's see. What does C. Bacon want?
I want a Bomar Monk slider droids from Jabba's palace with the brain in the jar, the same style as the frog jar. Okay, so the Bomar Monks, I happen to know this one.
Okay.
Those like spider-like creatures that you see walking around in Jabba's palace. When C-3PO and R2-D2 first come inside, there's one that like skitters past them in the background, and C-3PO gets all scared. And the story that they've since come up with for what those are is this thing called the Bomar Monk, where the monk has his brain removed from his skull and placed in this droid spider body. It's like a sensory deprivation type thing.
Okay.
So that's what they're talking about there.
So wait, so is it his parts of his brain are in varying of these critters?
No, his entire brain just lives in this. I have one. I have the action figure of the Bomar Monk. I don't know. I'm trying to remember where it is. Let me see if I can find it. If you can vamp for
we can have people tune in next time for it if you don't have time.
Well, give me like 30 seconds.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
I'll give you time. In the meanwhile, Kidder shares, I rode all Star Wars related attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So let's see, that would be the Smuggler's Run, Rise of the Resistance, and Star Tours now. So really fun stuff at Star. Nope. Okay. Maybe next time.
I thought I had it out on a shelf, but I think it's in a box somewhere. So
that's what happens after your collection grows for a while. you end up with boxes. So today on Laughing Place, at 3:15, we'll have live from Disney Springs. And we will be wandering around the area. You can see what's happening over there in Florida. And at 5:30, our recap of Grownish will be going up on the website for you to read. So we've got all that happening today at Laughing Place. And if you missed it earlier today, we were at Disney Hollywood Studios, and Jeremiah was wandering around doing the DVC selfie scavenger hunt. And they would give you an image, and then you would have to go find it and take a selfie with that, represented in the background of it. And once you completed it, then you received a nice surprise. So Jeremiah and Tony were doing that this morning. So be sure and check that out if you're looking for a little more Disney fun. Other than that, Mike, see, I think we got it covered. I think we brought everybody up to date on what we know is happening within the world of Star Wars today.
Yeah, I think you're right. A lot of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah, I'm super excited. That comic book, I hadn't seen that headline yet, so that I'm super excited about that comic book. So,
yeah, me too. That's gonna mean a lot of comics, because there's also the High Republic comics. There's 2 different High Republic comic books coming out monthly, and the 4 regular titles, and then the War of the Bounty Hunters miniseries. It brings it to like 7 or 8 total. Over the summer, we'll have just constant Star Wars comics, which is great.
That's amazing. That's very, very exciting. So I guess that's it from us here at Star Wars Headlines. Stay tuned to laughingplace.com for more Disney news and information. Take care. Bye.